Namaskar and a very good afternoon, dear listeners. This is Akashvani Kohima at 103 MHz, the station of the region. And I cordially welcome you all to our ongoing series, our episode 9th of Drug Free Nagaland, which is an initiative of the regional news unit Akashvani Kohima in collaboration with Nagaland Police Department. I am your host, Tia, and it gives me great joy and an honor to introduce to you our experts today. We have exceptional panelists in the past in our program here, and even today we are truly privileged to have our experts from the police department and civil societies who have great understanding, insights and knowledge on the subject matter. So before we begin with our interactive program, let me quickly remind you that you are tuning in at 103 MHz. Listeners from Maluri, Shamato, Dimapo, Tening, Mon and Twinsang, you are tuning in at 100.1 MHz. Listeners from Mocha, it's 101.8 MHz. Listeners from Pek, 102.1 MHz. And listeners from Zineboto, you are tuned in with me right now in this program at 101.2 MHz. FM is also carried out in Dudashan, free DTH, direct-to-home service. Transfrequency is 3349 MHz. Symbol rate is 29500 kSPS. LNB is 5150 MHz. And you can download our app as well and connect with us in this program. You can find our app on Google Play Store. All you have to do is install the app News on Air, click on live radio and listen to this program. Another interesting fact about this program is going to be an interactive program. Mane apni khan questions kan thaki shekule, queries kan thaki shekule, ami khan la panelists kan loko thakru bole munjai kule. All you have to do is grab your phone, type the code FM space F, write the name of the questions, write your questions along with the name. Apni la naam bhi likhi dile bishi bal and the place from where you are writing and send it to 9436805333. 9436805333 de apni khan la messages, apni khan la questions kumba ajila experts kan ge hude bole munjai kule do apni khan itu bi pathabole parbo. Itu program to shuru kuri kina 2 baji tak chulia hobo. So yes, my dear listeners, as we begin with our program here, let me introduce to you our panelists. We have with us today on our panel Mr. Vikram Khalate, Inspector General of Police, CID. Thank you so much, sir. We have also with us Mr. Surhoneyi Soho, former Nagaland wrestling champion and international contender. And along with them, we have Miss Kiyasetuonuo Sekhose, student counsellor and chaplain. Thank you so much for consenting and being part of our program. This is the 9th episode, and we have had some really good discourse, ekdom discussion, heavy discussion on different topics. Topic to kwanishna Drug Free Nagaland, but under subtopic bishi ase to ajila topic ase parenting, drugs, teenagers and parenting la opore hobo. So we are super excited to start with our discussion here. So without much further delay, let's get started with our program. Itu program the bilingual program ase. To listeners kan apni kan muge message lekhe adam the English par bhi likhule parbo, Hindi par bhi likhule parbo, as well as Nagamis par bhi likhule parbo. Chime in. Let's get started with our program. The very first question that I have, the very first thing that comes to my mind is, what are the causes of drug abuse among teenagers? Ajila kwanishna topic to teenagers kan la opore bishi parenting la opore hoya se. So what are the, according to you, this question is going to be directed to Miss Kie. What are the main causes of drug abuse?
The main causes of drug abuse are depressions, abuse, curiosity and experimentations, and even digitalization is also important.
So according to you, main causes kan ito hanas, especially when it comes to teenagers.
Yes.
So if any of our experts would also like to chime in, according to your personal experience, main causes kan do, especially when it comes to teenagers, young adolescents kan la upade hile, what according to you is the main causes?
What I feel, actually, as Madam rightly put it out, there is a lot of interest of those who supply the drugs, because they are looking forward to have some target groups. And herein the teenage is such an age group wherein if you make them fall into this kind of a habit, then it's very difficult for them to return. So it's to great extent Nagaland is on the cusp of that golden triangle, so-called, where there is a lot of this heroin is cultivated and produced, and those all countries are bordering to this Nagaland and Mizoram and Manipur and even Arunachal Pradesh. So we are having more than average drug consumption than whatever is in India. So that is one of the reasons because it's to great extent the interest of those traffickers and the peddlers who wanted to. So that is also one of them. They just want to target and teenager is such a vulnerable group. And sometimes peer pressure. Sometimes they come in contact with such kind of people. Even sometimes parental controls are also sometimes lacking because of social media and all that. And they just wanted to experimentation, the kind of urge to do some experimentation. So these kind of things are bringing them in trouble, I feel.
Madam, as you said, that depression is one of the reason I should say, causing young people to go into that drug use. So, apni depression now pade, what are the main reasons that teenagers are facing this kind of mental health problems?
Some of the main reasons are personal failures, like they cannot share everything with others, and instead of sharing that things to others, they just keep themselves and then they just suffer.
I think more open communication is required, I believe.
Yes,
especially when it comes to teenagers. What type of drugs are mostly used by teenagers, if any one of you could highlight?
During our days, it was spasmopressant, we called it SP, and then RP, relevant, nitro, and then cough syrup. All but in this present context, a lot of youth are using that sunflower drug, and that is spoiling our society and spoiling our youth. Yeah.
It's they call it as a sunflower. They come in
small that is the most popular drug.
Soap cases. They call it as a soap case also.
Okay.
And that is it's heroin, which is as I said, manufactured in the vicinity of our state and the areas, and that is the one which is majoritarily. Even sometime we could even find those tablets, that is yaba tablet.
Okay.
So that is also there, and local consumption, but we have not seen much of the usage of ganja. But ganja is, yes, it is also produced in the vicinity. So these are the roughly what I could say.
These are the drugs that young people are currently indulging in. Sir, can you please share with us your journey also with substance abuse and how you have overcome it?
Let me share some few of my testimony also, and I'll say I would like to give all glory and honor to God for this lovely evening, and also I thank the All India Radio for having me to be part of this program. I was brought up in Pet Village with 7 siblings. My brother Surhoneyi Soho, the 3 times Naga Open wrestling champion, Naga wrestling champion, and multiple times Nagaland athletics gold medalist, inspire me to follow his footsteps. So when I was just a small kid, I have an ambition, a dream, and a vision to become a national gold medalist and to become a sport official. But when time goes by, I fall into the trap of drug. I was addicted to drug. Drug addict ho jaise, and then all my plans, my vision came to nothing. In vain ho jaise. My vision, my dreams can be vain ho jaise. Because I was into drug for almost a half decade. Involved ho jaise, and then at the last part of my life, I was rejected, neglected, and even condemned in the society due to my addiction and because of my sin. So I was a troublemaker in my family, a troublemaker in the society, a troublemaker in my village, a troublemaker. I become a stealer. See, a drug addict will become a stealer. By any means, they will become a stealer. So I was into it. And at the last part of my life, I was even jailed for the addiction. My brother called up one Oshi in Pektan. He came and then he took me to Thana for my addiction. But that was not the end of my life journey. There was a loving God, a merciful Father who disciplined me. I was in pain for almost a year. So that totally transformed my life. My life to completely transform Kurdish. And then with that pain, with that discipline, I submit and I surrender my life to Jesus Christ. Ajibara, no to God. I've surrendered my life to God. No turning back. I'll follow Jesus. I'll grab to Nakaijibo. Not Choijabo going in decision. And then after breakthrough from my addiction, I started to involve in the ministry of God. Church involved with as a Sunday school teacher, Sunday school superintendent, youth director in for a decade. 10 years involved with that was a part-time service. So my profession to be my discipline. I discipline myself to my opted profession, that is in wrestling. My datalaga footstep de jabo totally transformed Kurdish. I dedicate my life to God, and moreover, I dedicate my life to my profession. And then after 9 years, I become a wrestling champion in Nagaland. I struggled for 9 years to become a champion. I dedicate my life to God. I dedicate my life to my profession. And then after 9 years of total struggle, dedication, I become a champion. And then that same year, I become Naga Korean wrestling champion also. And then after that also, I become international hornbill wrestling champion. And after a year, I become the second time to become a Naga Open wrestling champion again. Norris medalist, national medalist, and international quarterfinalist. So that was my life journey and my breakthrough from God. And then in a year, when I become the first Naga Open wrestling champion, the press and media called me for an interview. Interview karne mo yamati siya. To mo la achievement kan, and then mo la kabay teta kan likhi taki ne. Something came to my mind. Mo la mon kibay siya. 10 years back, 9 years back, I was a grad edit. Itu karne I want to publish it in the paper. Ina ko siya. Press and media kan para mo ko siya. That will spoil your reputation. I want la reputation behave kuri dibo. I want la image behave kuri dibo. Itu nale kiwi ko siya. No, I want to give a message to the Naga youth. Everything is possible through Christ. Ini ka message dibo le mona se ho. Itu kone itu likhi dibi ko ine mo ko siya. Tapos okay, apni likhi dibi ko siya kole mo likhi dibo ko ine. Next morning paper de a junkie to a champion. A drug addict become a wrestling champion ko ine paper de ula siya. At that time when I was a drug addict, I was not more than a skeleton. Kapia manu ini kap duri lebi ini kapiche. Yeah. Very comfortable, very weak, not more than a skeleton. But when I surrender my life to Jesus Christ, and when I dedicate my life to God, God raised me up to a greater height. In the way, itu karena moi bicara debi malam message di boleh monase, hoile bi mola breakthrough to beshi mano hoile bi drug addiction kan to rehab debi jai. Yeah, I appreciate the rehab na. Rehab kure kan bi appreciate kure. Our counselor kan ke bi moi be ishi appreciate kure. Hoile bi moi laga breakthrough to moi by the power of the Holy Spirit. Tati para paisi de ishola morom para moi breakthrough di shi. Itu share with them.
Wonderful story. I think it's a very, very inspiring story. Not just of the champion or medals can jiti itu like la no hina how the entire journey mold you into the person that you are. Apni kwanishna now to you work with the church ministry, young people can no bishi deal kuri thakibo. To itu la pore how important is parenting as teenagers na can parenting kiman important is especially teenage years stage kwanishna serbi koi like very impressionable, very easy to peer pressure hui jai. To itu time de parents can intervention thaki jai na ekdam kan olap to sai dile pal parents can bishi to itu la portibe olap koi dile kinega apni since you are working with the youth ministry.
I want to go through the life of Timothy tai chotto thaki time de bacha thaki time de tala amma and taila grandmother the word of God itu lo ini tai ke hikai ti jibishe. And then when he grow up tai da more hoi pichi debi tebi bit slide ho par na bishe. Because the word of God tai la monde thaki jibishe. Bible says that the holy scripture that I have learned from my childhood is leading me to salvation through faith in Jesus Christ. In Amma aromola grandmother muike the word of God hikai didu, the fear of the Lord hikai didu. Itu muike lead kurikine, muila bisas para Jesus Christ la nambara muike lead kurikine heaven la rasta de salvation la rasta de jatu kushito. Itu kane ajikali mui observe kurine thake kantu parenting to be is important ase. And then the most important thing is the fear of God. Itu teach kurwa lage. When I changed my life, moi laga life surrender kurine jisu ke dibichite. Agire moi surrender na kura agire submit na kura agire to manu ke boi khai, ishwar ke boi na khai. Na manu la agire escape kurulo shikole hoi jibo. Manu na jani shikole hoi jibo. Hoile bi when I totally surrender. Itu pichire to manu moi ke na dikhile bi moi itu kuri shikole papa se. Manu moi ke na dikhile bi moi itu kuri shikole ishola agire papa se ko kine. Indiga the fear of the Lord makana manu la jiwan de ahi jai. Itu ne parenting first parenting to the fear of the Lord lo kini hikawo lage ho. Na alak kambia se counseling bi dibo lage, alak rehab tibi hoi loi ne jabo lage, alak tibi loi ne jabo lage. Hoile bi the fear of the Lord itu loi ne batange hikai she bole na tang kitte bi bedside na ho. Kumba bedside hoile bi bedside hoi to depression tai thake manu bi shi hole suicidal thought bi shi hoi jai she. Na one breast center moi breast center laga ministry ekta ase etu manu be issue hole be presently be inika ane tai depressed ho jasibo suicidal thought thaki jasibo anxiety ho jasibo hopeless tai laga life to inika ho jasibo koine be shi manu hole be ahe ki kare asu kuchbo issue laga kotha ta kana jibon na thaki kane depressed bi ho jaye suicide bi ho jaye hoile be bacha time de hikai di se bole na we youth time de na teenager time de kite ba do best life putani bi ho bole mon ho jaye na इनेगा भी होले मन हो जाए होइले भी तंगाने इनेगा बियाला काम ग्राक ते इन्वॉल्व करी थाइले भी एक दिन ना होले एक दिन तो बच्चा टाइम दे की हिकागिने आसे इतु ताते बरा ताइला लाइफ ट्रांसफॉर्म होले रास्ता इतु आसे इतु माने देयर इज अ सॉल्यूशन टू एवरी प्रॉब्लम एंड दैट सॉल्यूशन इज फ्रॉम जीसस क्राइस्ट इतु मोय अलग भी पिछे आसे बोले भी इतु को पारे
अपनी भी इतु लपड़े होप बोले मन जाइले parenting is important, especially molding teenagers. And
I think parents should also set good example, positive role models, and then parents should also spend more time with the families when they are in teen.
Quality time is really important. I think in a digital area like today, many a times we are together, but we don't actually spend quality time with our family members. So I think quality time is something that we should prioritize. Sir, my next question is for you. What are the punishments for adolescents? Many a times teenagers can do just because they are young people. Gali khai de, no maybe punishment chuto mutu ghor bari di de. So they don't really realize the gravity of the situation, especially drug use te jai jaile. So, sir, I would like you to highlight on the punishments for adolescents and teens if they are found using drugs.
In drugs, there are very severe punishments. I tell you, but like there is a section 27 of NDPS Act, which is very clear about the punishment. It tells about it is not allowed for anyone to consume, to store, to sell illegally these subjects. This is all illegal. And if anyone is into illicit manufacturing or production or transportation of narcotic drugs, so he comes in conflict with law. So the law is so serious. Like if it is repeat offense, like if someone is doing couple of times, it can go up to death penalty. So it's very serious actually. For of course those who are teenagers or below 18 years, initially definitely rehab, and then they will be just like treated as a juveniles. So there will be different yardstick, but once above 18, then that will go into different trajectory. So the punishments definitely are very, very severe. And what I say, like just continuation with the last question regarding parenting, they should watch their grades. If there is any change in the grades, then again they should check for their friends. If there are any friends who are like or they're like just stop meeting them, or just like they're remaining alone, then their mood needs to be noticed. Like if there is a change in the mood, and then even appearance also, if it changes, so that also they should look into. And the most importantly, eating habits, because parents will immediately get to know if the kid is in drug with the help of the eating habits. So if these things are looked into to great extent, we can have a control over their habits. And it is having a lot of psychological cost, like there is a loss of self-esteem, then they will feeling low, they will have some guilt kind of a feeling, and poor mental health. So this is one of the cost. Then even economic cost, like as he said rightly, like they will indulge into some different kind of things, stealing and all that, loss of job, loss of earnings, then treatment cost, so that is also economic cost on the family. Then health cost is very, very crucial. They can even prone to the HIV, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, tuberculosis. Even they can be like prone to infertility, then psychosomatic disorders, then even reduced immunity levels, and premature death. So these are the health cost. So if these things timely, if we make them understand, and most importantly as a police officer, I feel the legal cost, that is the road accidents, they will, then domestic violence, they will do crime, then they will do some aggression related violence, then even they are prone for insurgency or anti-national activities, and even they are prone for arrest and imprisonment. So these all things which will damage him in a 360 degree, I say. So we have to look into all those costs.
It's a very wide
and
spectrum.
Particularly what I feel, youth and young generation is our asset. And if we are not taking care of them, ultimately we are not going to get the proper people to run the society. So we have to have the good youth or good teenagers to have a good society. And drug is something which is having potential, to damage the whole generation. So that cost is very, very huge. So we just have to be very, very careful about it, and we should tell them these effects and the effects of this drug consumption and abuse.
I think what you said, sir, is rightly put. 360 pura effect hui jai. Not just legally you are involved, but then physically, mentally, economically, you become an
ultimately the social cost. Social cost is like damage to family, loss of reputation, then peer group pressure, then social stigma, then there will be dropouts. So like you are literally not giving the productive generation, which is very much required for any society to survive. If the whole generation is generation if bya hui jai to itu to society to kini ka survive hobo. To itu karne itu to bishi crucial or important ase itu time te tai khan ke ane understand kuribole dibo lage itu laga ki itu bad impact ase.
I think we have to make young people understand that aftermath to beshi biya ase. So ma'am, on that note, you have worked as counselor also, if you could tell us in length, how do we approach this warning signs and how to deal with it?
Some of the warning signs can be eye contact, and then we can see from they will be absent to the school. They will not come to school, and then some of they will be withdrawing or isolating themselves from others, from their friends, and they will not even enjoy the things that they have enjoyed before. They just
loss of interest.
Yeah, the loss of interest. And in order to help them, we need to have a contact with them, and we need to talk with them personally.
I think being in constant contact with them would also be very, very productive, I believe. So how do we deal when we see our kids or when we see our siblings, or for that matter our children, showing these warning signs? What are the steps that we should be taking, if you could?
The step that we should take is that we should talk to the children with maturity. The first thing, and then as parents, our emotions should not overcome the situations, and then if the situation is too hard, then it will be better if we can approach some expert subject for advice.
I think what you said, it's something that we should all ponder upon. Parents can be overwhelmed with it sometimes. They're supposed to be the guardian. They're supposed to show them the way. But I think it's also a huge shock for parents also. Mila bacha drugs khaye se nule mila bacha drugs kan involve ase kule. I think parents can be sensitization lagi ase, awareness bhi lagi ase. To la pore bhi what kind of awareness program that our society needs, especially when it comes to sensitization and dissemination of information regarding drug.
I think not only a program on awareness, not only on drugs na kali school no aru college no higine, we can also give a program for parents to teach how to communicate well with the students, or with their teens, or with their children.
Parents first equipped trained they will be able to show the right way to the children. I think with our society, parents themselves can be aware na thage how to deal with situation. Mostly to mahala society to kali medical help to man na di jai first to prathana kuri dibo no hilebi, which is also very, very important. But sometimes medical intervention, expert intervention bhi bishi lagi jai na.
Counseling and medicational therapy should go hand in hand.
I think that is something that we need to more and more people aware of it. We will take a very short break, but yeah, we will get back. I have messages also coming in, so we will be back, listeners, right after this very short break.
Yeah, I know it's not easy, but I'll try saying yes. Yes to life and no to things that cut it short, my friend. Life is beautiful and it's a gift for you and me. Yeah, you should know life is worth it. Every time, every moment, I choose life. It's a happy choice. Say yes with me. I'm here for you. Say yes to love and no to drugs. It's the only way. There's no other way. There's no rewind. Yeah, I know. Sometimes people, they feel low, they need a hero. Falling into drawing deeper, don't have pathway. No to drugs and no to anything, that's a mistake. Yeah, you should know. Just say no, no. Just say no, no. Every day. Choice is yours. I choose life. It's a happy choice. Say yes with me. I'm here for you. Say yes to love and no to drugs. It's the only way. There's no other way. There's no rewind. There's an anthem in the air, a tune for all to hear, a call that is so strong. I don't wanna see you losing your way. I don't want you waste another day. Yes to living, yes to life. No to hate, no giving up. Say no to drugs. Come on! I choose life. It's a happy choice. Say yes with me. I'm here for you. Let's choose life. It's a happy choice. Say yes with us. We're here for you. Say yes to love and no to drugs. It's the only way. There's no other way. There's no rewind.
Welcome back, dear listeners. You are listening to our program at Drug Free Nagaland, and I have with me today in our panel Mr. Vikram Khalate, Inspector General of Police CID, Mr. Surhoneyi Soho, former Nagaland wrestling champion and international contender, and Miss Kiyasetuonuo Sekhose. She is the student counselor and chaplain. So yes, listeners, we are back, and before we move on with our very interesting conversation, our discussion here, I have few messages that I have received, so I'm going to quickly address them, and if there are any questions, I would like to request our panelists to answer them as well. So this question is, I think this is from Kohima, and this says, does inefficient parents are responsible for children's depression? Inefficient parents are responsible for children's depression. I think that is something that we all need to discuss in detail. So, Madam, if you could.
Yes, in some ways, because some parents are not aware. They are not aware, and they have lack of awareness in the children. Whatever their children are doing or wherever they are going, they don't interfere. So in that way, I think it's because of the inefficiency of the parent side also. It will cooperate.
Inefficient parents can depression. But we see a lot of young people struggling with depression. It has become very synonymous with young people. So parents can be how do you think that we parents can be helpful to children, especially juggling with mental health problems?
They should have spent more time with them. Quality time that's why we should spend more time, and then things we need to let them involve in family circle more.
I think family time, quality time Spending quality time, it should be a priority in every family. My next question that I've received is for Mr. Soho. And this one reads, if he could share how he was first introduced to drug use and how it affected his health. Shuru ho jaye.
When I was around 15 to 16 years, I involved in graph. Yeah, means I can say for worldly pleasure, prithvi la last karne, or celebrities kan la life copycat kurigine, and then mohan laga elders kan drug use kore. To drug khai shukule ma khushi pai ho, flight te urian is na hoi jai ho, hoine tan introduce kurise. To ka moi bi test kuri dibo na, I'll test it na.
Peer pressure.
How kini ka say to test kuribo koine moi start kurise, and then slowly. First time I don't find any happiness by using drug. Well, I stay involved for jaje, and then deeper I go, edit, koine totally addiction da hijaje. Totally addiction da hijaje, and no one could stop me from drug. Moi babi tekishe, mola sati kan pura drug charity lebi moi ekla hodi moi khai takibo because moi drug na khaji bole moi happiness na pawo. For happiness na pawo koine moi decision loje. Beshi mama holebi ahi kine moi ke counseling ni di thake, moi ke encourage. Jo abuni to ekta pariya manu ekta aso. Abuni ki te holebi paribo sport te holebi abuni beshi bal manu aso koine ahi kine moi ke encourage kuri thake. Holebi takan laga kotha bi moi na huine. Mola life to any random lazy school jaje. Hisab kitab na kuri moi enjoyment pa shikule hoi jabo na manu to ki na mola ka parents san to ki moi yede para grad para enjoy kuri thake to itu the happiest moment of my life hoje kine moi decision loje agile moi koinis na iniba khai thake ne muri bole time de na the last part of my life muri bole time de ta moi laga mind de ai jeje moi ke discipline kuri laga issue para moi ke discipline kuri laga shuru hoi jeje tate para moi breakthrough paise tate para moi la life for 1 year nisna moi in pain thakise moi I don't know unexpressible pain ase ko na pare laga pain ekta moi lag jibon da jesido, and then itu pain bo laga life te aibo I go deeper na totally transform my life. Itu for 1-2 months nisna moi ke discipline krise bole moi kiti bi change ta koribo beshi manu holi ko I have drug addict come to change koro na pare ho rehab de jaine ulai bole aro jai ho na pare bo yo koido kiti na pare crash na koro na pare moi decision loje I will set an example moi example set koro moi chari dibo no to drug koine chari dibo koine mo decision frame decision loje, and then moi laga data champion kore is na if it is God's will isho laga icha to ko jole I will become a champion inega moi decision lo ine chari gine by the mercy, by the grace, by the faithfulness, by the unconditional love of God moi itu chari bo pareshe, and then I process to my opted profession in the wrestling. In our way, more life discipline de thakise moi bi chari bichete any chupchap thakina I discipline myself by climbing mountain na khuri kam bukhibo pathor kam bukhibo frog jump jabo running for 5-6 kilometers hobo in a day 5 to 7 hours to be moi practice kore struggle from head to toe pasna belagne struggle kore to become a champion is not an easy job na hoide hoile bi dedication lage, and then God first lage, and then dedication, determination, discipline lage. Tate para moi breakthrough paise.
Dedication, determination.
Yeah.
I think. And
We call it
discipline.
discipline.
Yeah. Triple D is stand for discipline, determination, and dedication.
Kubule do bishi asan, kulibi kurule do bishi hidda ase.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for sharing that with us. So my next question is for you. You being in police personnel, cases can be shared, various cases, especially relating to young people. So what are the things or what are the steps that we as a society should be taking so that we can prevent these young people getting involved in drug use?
Exactly, this is a very good question. Actually, we need to deal into this kind of menace. We need to check the abuse, we need to check the circulation, the transport and everything. So whenever we come across those who are already into this habit, then to great extent we just try to encourage them to go for rehab. Then secondly, we will involve their family members, and definitely they will have a good quality counseling. So these kind of things, whatever we can do, we do that extent. Beyond that, from our department also to generate the awareness programs like this are there. Then at different places, different locations, we encourage our officers and OCs to involve the schools and all that, so that like that timely awareness campaign can be generated, and we could deter this kind of abuse. So this is the major steps which we normally take. Apart from that, most important, there was a very good question about parenting. So definitely it's a societal responsibility. It's each and everyone's job to make our kids socially fit. They should not be socially misfit. So for that purpose, whatever best we can give to them, we must try to. And what is the this thing most important, we need to set an example, because we will have only then the moral authority to tell someone to not to do if we are clean and we are not doing. Naturally, unless and until you yourself takes effort and try to be a good person, then it is not possible for you to tell to others that you behave like this and you behave like that. So it's the responsibility of each and every one of us as a society to go forward and try to control this kind of menace. So what I feel is like in police department, yes, we will go with the punitive provisions. There is a law to deal with it, but that is not the solution. The solution lies within us, that is within society. As he said, the spirituality can be one of the aspect. If we, since their childhood, if we inculcate that virtue into them, that is going to help them a lot to come out as a very successful individuals. Because unless and until you yourself, like what I feel, you are calm and you are like secondly you have to have contented and you have to have believe in God. So those 2-3 things if you follow as a since your childhood, these kind of virtues, then you come out as a very successful individual in the life. So what I feel like the school, the role of teachers, the role of the parents, the role of society as a whole is very, very cardinal in this issue.
Sir, talking about drug abuse, especially in teenagers, what is the statistics when it comes to Nagaland?
Statistics, we are having almost high than the national average, what I could say, because in India, if we go, I will just read out the statistics. We are having different consumption for cannabis. Say for example, we are having 3.1 crores total, I am saying, out of which 72 lakh are the problem users, 72 lakh, and 25 lakh are the dependent users. So they are very chronic. So this is for cannabis, I am telling. Cannabis, you know, like it's throughout India, like everywhere it is available and people even cultivate that. And then there are some inhalants, like what I say, heroin and all that, like they inhale. So 77 lakh users total, which all over India. 22 lakh are the problem users and 8.5 lakh are the dependents. So they are completely depending on that. So this is a rough statistics and the percentages which we are having. The figures, and specifically for Nagaland also I bought something, the national average regarding the consumption of the drug, that is 0.20, for our state is 1.75. So this is too high. Only one state is higher than us is Sikkim in the drug use. So this is also very serious. So this is what I would like to highlight.
So sir, according to that statistics, do you think that the users are teenagers or adults, or the number of teenagers are growing? What is your
this is across all the age groups, the statistics which I am having. We have not bifurcated it, but naturally like it's all starts from the teenage, and they are the one who are most vulnerable group. As I said, there is a lot of economics involved. Even you see this pub culture, this disco culture is coming up, night bars and all that. So that culture is to certain extent attracting teenagers, you know. Like they feel it like to go there, but once they go there, it goes unmonitored. What is going on, and on the pretext of or in the name of enjoyment, you know, sometimes they fall prey to that trap, and it is a business of certain individuals who want to mint out of it. So those traffickers and the peddlers, they just focus on this group. So majoritarily, to great extent, you know, like this kind of things are happening with teenagers.
My next question is for you. Drug use, for example, someone who is involved in drug use and has been to a rehab, but he or she, especially at a very young age, they are very vulnerable. it's very difficult for them to reintegrate into the society, because our society, being a very close-knit society, they get stigmatized, they get ostracized, and sometimes this can lead to more bad repercussions. So how do someone who has been using drugs, what are the steps, I should say, how do they reintegrate into the society, and what should be the behavior, the attitude of the society?
I think the first step is the immediate family should love that person. Yes, they should tell him or her that taking drugs, their behavior is wrong, and correct them constructively. But they should not emphasize that the person is wrong. And so likewise, each and every one of us, we need to accept that person, the person, and not the behavior. And we should try our best to help them, each and every individual of us.
Not demonize them,
Yes.
but help them reintegrate. So has there been any awareness campaign carried out specifically targeting the teenagers?
Yes, in some church, and in my own church, as a Sunday school teacher, I also we conduct awareness program almost every year, once a year, so that the children would have that awareness. And even in our context, like the Kripa Foundation, it has been working for 42 years, and then it has helping a lot. And one of the main target of this Kripa Foundation is the target on teenagers. Teenagers.
So how important is counseling in drugs related cases, and how, as parents, how are they supposed to handle it when someone counseling kan bishi na jai ya de dona many a times the society demonize them, stigmatize them, so parents can be, just to save their face, they try to look away problems when their children are facing. So do you think counseling is important, and if it is important, then what are the steps that parents should take regarding counseling?
Counseling is a very important tool, and Mohansop Manojane, we Nagas were very conservative, and we don't want to share our problems with others, but it's time for us to wake up and share our problems with others. And then we need to take this counseling, and counseling in psychotherapy and medical therapy should go in hand. And parents can be, both the parents as well as the teenagers should also go for counseling. And one of the advantages by going to counseling is that if that person, or if the teens, if she is being healed, they can, one of the advantages that they can also be a counselor for others.
Sir, even in the police department, do you think that there are personnels who are also addicted?
Yes, we do have, and we have taken the necessary steps also. We send them for rehab, even if they are not getting this thing, even they can lose the job eventually. And this kind of actions also, some punitive and some strict actions have been taken from the end of the department. And we always tell to all our department, different superintendent of police and different OCs, to bring these kind of cases to the notice of a police headquarters, and then appropriate action against them we initiate. First, definitely we try to reform them. To great extent, we give them time. We encourage them to go for rehab. We encourage them to leave the substance abuse, and then we keep them on medicine. After that, again they can be, their behavior can be checked, and to great extent, after giving them all the possible things what we can give, even if after that also if they are not getting reformed, then ultimately strict actions have been initiated against them. So yes, the problem which we are also facing, definitely yes.
So sir, is the department conducting any awareness programs in convergence with other departments?
Yes, we do have, because now if you are very well aware that the government of Nagaland have taken the initiative for the Drug Free Nagaland, which is supported by Honorable CM of Nagaland, and under his leadership and initiative, the government of Nagaland, whatever they have given some directions to all the departments concerned. So therein police is also one of the departments. So yes, we cooperate and we coordinate with all the other departments wherever it is possible from each other's end to support this initiative. So majoritarily for police, like we will focus on those criminals which are having this kind of records, which are into this kind of businesses, those who are trafficking it. So that is our focus majoritarily. And secondly, this awareness campaign and all that, like wherever required, with all other departments also, like we are into that man.
So do you think that it has a positive impact on the society, on drug users?
Yes, I would like to cite a small example. The soap case or that sunflower drug, which used to cost around 15-20,000 in Dimapur, like one couple of months back. Right now I learned that it is now more than 90,000 or 1 lakh, a single soap case. So this is what, like, the initiative which we have taken and the efforts which we are taking, which is yielding the results, because the supply is getting reduced like anything. So that is what I would like to highlight.
Sir, on that note, I also want to ask that the rate of users is increasing day by day. So what is the main cause of it? Accessibility, availability? What do you think is the main reason with drug use and teenagers? Since you say that the prices are also really higher, but the drug users are also increasing. So what do you think is the main cause for it?
It is normally like in market, as we know, it's all demand and supply thing. But like if we encourage our society and youth and even the teenagers, if they like involve into that, like I would like to even highlight out here also, we requested AYO, that is Angami Youth Organization, to participate into our initiative, and they also like helped us in seizures and all that, like because in drug cases, to witness many people, it's very difficult to prove the case when it goes to the court. So that time the witnesses are very important. So we just like asked the civil society out here in Kohima to help us out, and they also came forward positively. So unless and until like we involve all the stakeholders and all the important stakeholders like youth organization, the elders organization, women organization, they coming forward along with the police department or the administrative departments or other departments, and it is coming together. So that will to great extent, the awareness will be generated, and then demand will reduce, because it's all about demand and supply thing. And supply, definitely that aspect we are checking. We are trying our level best to cut the things, like to control the things. But again, it have to have a, like if they are having, say for example, any information, why I am saying all the stakeholders involvement is important. They should freely share it with the police, what I feel. And because this is for the greater interest of the whole society, because police is also a limited manpower. They are not having reach to each and every corner of a town or a village. So out there, those aware citizens can share these kind of things with the police. So that ultimately will help the police to like check those people, like at least at the bud, if we can reduce that problem. So that is the way, what I feel is the way ahead, or a solution lying ahead.
My next question is for ma'am. As we are also running out of time, I have this question. As you have mentioned in the beginning of the program, that depression is one of the reasons for young people getting into drugs. So, and we see a clear link of depression and drug use. How common it is in Nagaland, in Naga scenario?
Okay, it is very common in Naga scenario, because when a teenager is going through a hard time, he or she, in order to forget about the pain or the weariness, he or she turn into drugs and use drugs. That is one of the main cause that we can see.
And parental negligence can also be another reason for it.
Yes.
If you can highlight some.
Like parents, they don't have lack of time, and then they don't have time to stay at home. They will have social activities, church activities, and they will be very busy in other activities. They don't have time for the children. Time to nadia, and for some parents it's because of ignorance also. Bacha hanajikali ine say tuina they don't realize. Yes.
So parental negligence can also be another reason for young people getting involved into drugs. Sometimes consciously bhi na hoy, intentionally bhi na hoy, but I think that is a wonderful message to our dear parents as well, who are our listeners also. Like no parent would want their child to be involved in drugs, but sometimes indirectly action bhi affect hui jai. As we are coming to the end of our program here, is there any message that you want to share to our listeners? Let's start with Mr. Soho.
See, as a drug addict, and as I got breakthrough from the drug addiction by the grace of God, I want to give a message to the Naga youth, the drug addict, the alcoholic, and who are into world pleasure. Yes, the main causes are because of the negligence of the parenting, but one of the main causes is that it's because of the world pleasure. I can say because of the world pleasure, imitating the Westerner, the celebrities, the actor, the actress, the singers. Now, because of that is one of the main causes, I can say. And then I want to give a message to the Naga youth that everything is possible through Christ. So, drug addict. If you continue with your drug khata ki chukule apni untimely death face hoy jabo. Apna life 80 years sinda hole thakile bi apni khai taki chukule 40 years pina puncha ki muri jabo. Itu bane turn back to God. Repent kurule bi drug to charity bi. God has a plan for you. Jeremiah 29:11 says, I have a plan for you to make you prosper and to give you a future and a hope. Maybe once I was rejected, neglected, condemned in the society because of my addiction. But my life dedicated to my drug charity, God lifted me up to the higher level. Itu nisna addiction da tagine depression hoine tagias nege kumba addiction da tagine moi manuken da punchi ho moi na pari jabo ho koigine apni papi tagishnegi na hoi ho Jesus Christa Ishwar apni kane plan ase, a great plan ase. It want to turn back to Him. If God can use a person like me, when it's not use kuring my religious grow parishule, why not you? You are precious in the sight of God. Ishola agire be ishi precious ase, and we love you, drug addict. We love you. Turn back to God. Ahijabi. And then whenever you need counseling, come to me also. I'm available anytime. Kite hole more available take with it. Come to me, and you can even join my ministry also. We can work for the extension of God's kingdom. We can work for the society, and we can work for our nation in general. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That is a lovely message and a wonderful invite. If any help can, maybe any guidance like you can definitely reach out to Mr. Soho. Let's go to Mr. Vikram.
Yeah, what I feel, they should emulate the positive examples from our society. There are many achievers in India as well as in Nagaland. If you see the achievers list, that's very, very big. So students in their student life should focus on their studies, what is most important, and they should come out as a very successful individuals. I would like to say if 4 or 5 years they dedicatedly, if they do the study, next 40-50 years of their life, they will make it very, very good. And if in these crucial years, if they are not focusing on the study and if they are not on right path or right track, then they will abuse rest of the life what they are about to get. So this is very crucial time, and in these times they must focus on their studies. And if any issue is there, if any problems are there, then they should look forward to have some help, some counseling, some this thing. If there are some peer pressure is coming, if someone is trying, then they should at least tell to the nearby police department ki someone is trying to do this, someone is trying to do that. So to great extent, we will be in position to control this kind of thing. So my message to them, stay away from drugs, and best wishes for their future.
Thank you so much, sir. Ms. Sekhose?
I want to encourage the young people not to indulge in drugs, because drugs not only destroy you, but it destroy your whole family and our society as a whole. So I want to say that never become a victim of abuse drugs.
Thank you so much, ma'am and sir, for your wonderful messages. I think we had a very interactive as well as a very interesting session today on the topic drug-free teenagers and parenting. I think a lot of our listeners also have got a lot of important insights from all of you. As we are running out of time, I just want to thank our panelists for consenting and being with us. And also a reminder to our dear listeners that you are listening to Akashvani Kohima at 103 megahertz. And if you have any information, any query, to register your complaints, and you can use the app Made in Nagaland or call your COP app. So yes, amni kan ini kumba issues kan tagi she no libil ko hule mun jawle police station jawle mun nai kinika pungchiwo dahan ge kinika access kulo pile, you can use the app Made in Nagaland or call your cop. So with that, we come to the end of our program. Thank you so much. We had in our studio today Mr. Vikram Khalate, Inspector General of Police, CID. Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Surhoneyi Soho, former Nagaland wrestling champion and international contender, and Miss Kiyasetuonuo Sekhose, student counselor and chaplain. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.